Hey, everybody. Alex Witzpop here again, Sunday night. Recap the week, some of the things that we're seeing in the supply chain and overall distribution manufacturing trends. As we look back at the week, I think there's a common theme that we're seeing in the industry, and that's that inventory levels across end user distributors are contracting, right? People are not holding as much inventory levels that they're typically holding. MDM recently just had a report on the growth rates. Obviously, I think most industries saw contraction in growth rates towards the end of last year. We're seeing it again towards the beginning of this year. A lot of optimism towards the end of this year, but we obviously have to live in the present and operate for today with the focal point of, hey, how are things going to shake out? One of the key things that I think we're seeing as inventory levels shrink at the end user level, obviously distributors then are looking more towards just-in-time inventory. And that's obviously putting pressures back on the manufacturer, slowing down some of the production and the requirements on the production. So we're going to see just-in-time inventory continue to be really, really important in the supply chain. Especially once you hit probably 100 million in revenue as a distributor, you have the logistics downstream. I think one thing that's often forgotten is what's actually on its way back, what's available for resale, and how do you identify those products that are on their way back, whether that's a 7-day lag, 14-day lag, but that's inventory that you can go resell. And so I think a lot of times, you're trying to get predictability and visibility into what's coming from your vendors. But if you're looking at 30, 40, sometimes 50% of returns are stocking, meaning I don't need that anymore, as inventory levels shrink and as far as the levels that these distributors are sitting on, there's an opportunity to start to get visibility into these products that are actually coming back. And you can start to sell them before you have them back, or looking at redistribution from user to user opportunities in the B2B supply chain. That's not the only thing. I think just generally, distributors right now need to be looking at how do we optimize the inventory we do have, optimize the visibility into what's coming our way, again, back up the supply chain or down. And that's going to be key. So as you look into 2024, we're almost stepping into the second quarter now. Obviously, pricing pressures from end users, I think, is really across every vertical and every market. So you're going to have to win in different ways, right? Where in 2022, in the first half of 23, we could hit our growth goals purely off of inflation numbers, right? So we had a lot of things carrying us for tailwinds that were helping us hit our revenue goals. And we're going to have to be much more strategic in how we hit our growth goals this year. Obviously, growth goals won't be the same level, right? We're not expecting to grow at the same level, but it's still going to be harder to go hit the compressed growth goals that we're projecting because the demand's just not the same at the end level. I think MDM's report said that there was just over a 1% pullback and now we're looking at dollars here. I think one of the keys is to look at unit economics, not only dollars, but the actual units that you're moving and looking at the market share that you're taking, irregardless of your dollars, right? Are we taking market share, irregardless, because customers are putting those pricing pressures back on distributors. And I don't think the distributors have the same leverage that the end users do with the manufacturers in today's day and age. And so something has to give. One of the areas that I think is distributors, right? We try to hold our margin, and absolutely we need to. But distributors, the ones that are most forward looking are saying, how can we take operational cost out of our business so that as pricing constraints and compression happens, we can maintain net at the bottom line just as much profitability. And I'll tell you, like that, the concept of how do we take cost out of our business to maintain net profitability when we're getting pricing pressures from our end users is going to be the key to people that can come out of 2024 and the balance sheets looking almost as good as they did exiting or better than they did 2023. So I think it's going to, you obviously, you're not going to win this year on pricing alone. You're going to have to do a couple key things. Operationally, you have to get better. You have to continue to invest in your business. That's one. Two, you have to provide more service and more value, which is kind of two juxtaposed concepts. I want to take cost out of the business, but provide more value to my customers, right? So you have to be investing in things that are actually that are taking both of those pieces into account. And so how am I solving problems for my customers that maybe help justify a slightly higher price than my competition? Because we're going to start to see people trying to compete on price more than ever right now, right? And is it a winning game? Well, we all know the way that works. But if we're short on inventory, we have to be strategic about where we're placing our bets and how we're trying to optimize our supply chain and optimizing our net bottom line. So I think we're in a tough position, just as an industry and distribution, just going from the somewhat drunk out of the punch bowl, and just hitting growth goals purely because we showed up, and really didn't have to do anything crazy to go hit those goals. Yes, it was challenging. It's just different challenges. But this year, we're going to have to be much more strategic in where we're placing our bets to go deliver more value to our customers, to make sure we're optimizing our inventory and that we're winning the market share where we can. Because you have to win the unit market share, along with the actual pricing piece, not affecting your net bottom line. And so the operations are key. The supply chain visibility is key, and providing value to your customers so they're willing to accept a slightly higher price than your competition in today's market is going to be key, because they know that, hey, they're going to take care of me when things go wrong, or they're going to make sure product gets to me. And if I need to send it back, hey, everything's going to be taken care of. So supply chain, inventory constraints, those are the big pieces. And how do we look at our operation, just exiting February, heading into March, and what I think is going to be the toughest times here, the middle of the year, in distribution, hopefully starting to see that uptick towards the back half of the year. So, hey, as always, feel free to reach out to us here at Continuum to talk about your reverse logistics strategy, getting better visibility to product on its way back, how you can go put that back into inventory or get visibility to your sales team to go sell product that is on its way back with a short lead time, and starting to redistribute product, stocking specifically, and just that lead time visibility on the reverse logistics. All right, everybody, have a great Sunday night. Look forward to catching up with you again next week.